Hi, and in today's Microsoft Word tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create this letterhead. I'm going to show you how to create all the graphics, all the words, and how you can manipulate and move them around to fully customize it. I'm also going to show you how to save it as a template so it can be used over and over again, and you can customize the text and rewrite the letter multiple times. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is just enter in some shapes at the top and the bottom of our letter. So we go to Insert, across to the Shapes icon, click on the drop down, and we're just going to select a rectangle. Just simply click and drag. And then we're going to go up to the Shape Format tab. We're going to go along to Shape Fill, click on the drop down and select black. And we'll just go up here to the Shape Outline and click No Outline. Then we'll just position that where we want it. Just move it along a bit. And then we're going to simply copy and paste. Command or Control C, Command or Control V, and then drag it down to the bottom. And then we're just going to reduce the width of it and just move it down. The next thing I'm going to do is just enter in a logo here. So if I just grab this box again, because we've already customized it, copy and paste it again, and then we're simply going to change the size. So I don't have a specific logo, so I'm just going to quickly make up an example and I'll speed the video up. Okay, I've just made a quick logo up here, as you can see, and just popped it into that square shape. The next thing we're going to do is just draw a line down here and make some contact icons as well. So I'm just going to zoom in and then go up to Insert, along to Shapes, and click on the line. Now as I click, I'm going to hold the Shift key so that I get a perfect line and it doesn't waver left or right. Don't worry too much about the length because you can adjust it all later. Now once that's highlighted, I'm going to ensure I'm on Shape Format. Just go along to the black line icon here, and of course you've got a number of different colours that you can choose from. And then if I double click on my line, or I go up to this icon here that says Format Pane, then these drop down menus will appear. If you make sure you're on the bucket icon and click line, then here you can fully adjust the colour of your line and also the width. So I'm just going to increase the width of my line till I'm happy and then just check off. The next thing I'm going to do is insert some circles to place my icons in. So go up to Insert, Shape, and then click on the circle. And then as I click and drag, I'm going to hold the Shift key down to ensure I have a perfect circle. Once I've highlighted my shape, I'm on the Shape Format tab. Go along to Shape Fill and click No Fill. And go along here to the outline and select black. Again, over here on this menu, you can adjust all the lines and of course the internal fill of your shape with any colour you like, and of course adjust the line colour as well. And with this I'm going to select No Fill. And then I'm just going to simply reduce the size of my circle. Make sure you hold down the Shift key to maintain its ratio. I'm just going to put it about here until I'm happy. If you find that the circle line is too big or too small, then of course you can go ahead and adjust it. Once you've got it to exactly what you want, then highlight it and then copy and paste it twice. Now don't worry too much about being accurate with this because we'll line them up. So if you're happy with generally where they are, select each one by holding down the Command or Control key and clicking on each circle. Then go up to the Alignment tool here and click on the drop down, and then go down to Align to Centre. what you'll find is all of the little central squares are lined up. In addition, in the Alignment tab, click on the drop down and you can select Distribute Vertically. And that will mean there's an equal space between each circle. Next, I'm going to insert some icons. So go along to the Insert tab, click on Icons. Now if you don't have icons, you will have some form of clip art where you can use the same technique. So I'm going to select Phone, click on the circle and click Insert. Now as you can see, the phone has vanished behind my logo. So all I do is ensure I'm on graphics format, go along to wrap text and click in front of text. You can just see it's just come up here. All I'm going to do is click and drag. Then go back up to the icons and type email. Select the icon of your choice and insert. Once again, wrap text in front of text and drag it out. And again, I'm going to put globe in here because this icon appears here that I want. And click insert. Again, go to wrap text in front of text and move that out. Now you can put these in any order that you want. I'm going to put the phone at the top. Then all I'm going to do is just click, hold the Command or Shift key down, and then grab the corner of any of these boxes and just drag to reduce the size. Now obviously they have to fit inside these circles, so I'm going to reduce them quite a lot. Once I've done that, I'm just going to move them roughly next to these circles. Now if I just click and drag this phone over, you can see it's not quite small enough to fit inside that circle. So once again, I'm just going to highlight all of the icons and just click and drag to make them a little bit smaller. Again, just click and drag. I think they're about right now. So I'm just going to eyeball where I think they should go in the centre of these circles in terms of the height. And then I'm going to highlight all three again, and then I'm going to align them to the centre. So go up to the Align tool, Align to Centre. Now once I'm happy with that, I'm going to group them. So again, I'm making sure I'm on the Graphics Format tab, and I'm going to go to the Groups icon, click on the drop down and select Group. And now they're all selected in a group and can be moved around as one complete element. But don't worry, you can reverse the technique and go in and adjust everything. So I'm just going to check whether they fit nicely inside these circles. Once they're over the top there, I can use my arrow keys to just gently maneuver them around. Now as you can see at the bottom, the globe is now in the centre, and that's where that one needs to be. So we can judge where the others need to be according to the globe. So the phone probably needs to nudge up one, and the email needs to maybe come down one. So I'm just going to move them to one side, go back up to Group, Ungroup, click on the email, and I'm going to go down 2, and on the phone come down 1. Again, select them all with my Command or Control key, go up to Graphics Format, select Group, and select Group there. Move them across, and again I'm just going to use my arrow keys to ensure they're in the middle. Okay, I think lastly I'm just going to move that phone up 1. Select them again, Graphics Format, Group, and then go back inside. Okay, that seems fine. Once we've done that, we want to group all these elements together so that we can begin to move them around as one group. Because once you've got them to where you want them to be, the last thing you need is for them to be nudged left or right, and you find that you've sent a letter off and something's nudged. So the first thing we're going to do is just move this group out. We're going to group together the circles in one group. Go to Group. Now they're grouped. I'm then going to hold my Command or Control key down and click on the line. These lines are always super difficult to highlight. And then highlight them together, go back up to shape format and group. So now if we just zoom out slightly, this whole element here will move around on its own. Once we've got that grouped, then we can move these back over. Now the reason I didn't try to group these and the circles together is because you can't select them together because they're basically on top of each other. So this is the way I've got round it. So once those are grouped and over the top and you're happy, then click on the line above and you can see now that the larger group with the line and the circles are selected, and also the selection with just the icons in. Go back up to group and select group, and now they're all selected as one group. If we just scroll out, then we can move that exactly where we want it. If the mouse is a bit clunky for you, then just use your arrow keys. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to format a text box containing the exact text that we want to use with its size, its font and its spacing, and that way we can just simply keep copy and pasting it into the various areas of our letter. So we go up to Insert, go along to Text Box and draw Text Box, then just click and drag. Now all text boxes as a default come with a white background and a black border. So if I click on this and drag it, you can see there's a white background, and then if I click off, there's a black border. We'll want to get rid of both of those. So if we highlight our text box, go to Shape Format, go to Shape Fill and select No Fill, go up to Shape Outline and select No Outline. And there you can see it's all gone. So before we lose where our text box is, we're going to go into the text box by double clicking, and there you'll find your cursor, and now you can begin to type. It doesn't matter what you type, just type some words or letters. And then highlight them all, and now this is where you go up to the Home tab and you use this area here to adjust your text to exactly your own specifications. So I'm going to use this particular font because it gives me lots of different options here about how heavy or light the text is. So I'm going to select this font, but I'm also going to increase the spacing between the letters because as you can see they're quite close, but I do like the font. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to go down to Font. Now when you see this dialog box, you need to be on the Advanced tab up here, and then go down to Character Spacing and along to Spacing. Click on the drop down and select Expand. You can of course reduce it by selecting Condensed, but I'm going to use Expand. Down here you have a preview. Any adjustments you make with either your arrow key or by inputting the number here, you'll have a preview down at the bottom. So I'm going to select 1.5, select Enter, and then you can see that my letters are now a little bit more spaced out. Now the reason we've done this is because we are going to use a number of text boxes all over our letter, and it saves an awful lot of time if you have one text box which you can just copy and paste and type into without going back and creating the different fonts and the spacing and the font size. So I've now got my example, and then I'm going to just copy and paste it. And once I've copied and pasted it, then I can just keep pasting it to introduce the first couple of text boxes. And then if I paste it again, there's one for the address, paste it again for the other address, paste again for the to whom it may concern, the main body of the letter, and this one will be down the bottom for the signature block. So all you need to do now is to go in, click into the text, select Command or Control A, which will select all of your text, and then just enter in the information. Now because we want these three to line up down the right hand side, so I'm going to click on the first text box and then make sure I'm on the Home tab, and I'm going to select Align to Right. And then I'm going to do that with each of these text boxes. And then what I'm going to do is align them by selecting all of them. Select your first one, hold Command or Control down and select them all. And then I'm going to align them to the right here. So go to Shape Format, Align Tool, Align to Right. And just click off to check that you're happy. Now don't worry about the spacing here because we can adjust that now. So if you're happy with the alignment, again select them all, go up to Groups, which is here, click on the drop down and select Group. And then again you can now move this section round as one, and then there'll be no nudging every time you select your letterhead. Once you're happy with its spacing, go ahead, hold the Command or Control key down and select this group as well. And then again go up to Group and group these two. And then these two elements will also move around as one. And then we're going to go down here and we're going to select the date by clicking Command or Control A. And then we're going to go to Insert, and then we're going to go along here to Date and Time. Now if we choose this field, you have numerous selections here about the format of your day and time. So if I select this one here, this is today's date, and then normally this is unchecked, update automatically. If you click update automatically, when you then save this file as a template, when you open it again, it will automatically update the date and time. Then just click OK. And then I believe that that font is slightly bigger, so I'm just going to highlight it, Command Control A, go to the Home tab, and then I'm going to select this icon here, which is Decrease Font Size. And I think that's about right. Again, I'm going to align that to the right. So I go up to Align to Right. And then what I'm going to do, if I want it to line up with these, then I'm just going to ungroup them, ungroup, and then click off, click back on, ungroup again, and then without clicking anywhere else, I'm just going to hold the Command or Control key down and click on my date. And then again, I'm going to go up to the Align tab, Align to Right. Now, as you can see, everything's shifted, but again, don't worry because we're just going to move that once we've made this a group. So go back up to Groups and select Group. Make sure everything was selected before you turned it into a group. And again, we can just move this, and you can also use your arrow keys. Now we can go up and put in our own address. Click inside the box, Command or Control A. And again, I'm going to align all this to the right, Align to Right. Okay, we'll go back, press Command or Control A, Align to Right. And then we're going to input the recipient's address here. And I'm just going to make this box much bigger. Click inside, Command or Control A. Now I think for this particular text box, I'm just going to make these two elements a bit bolder. So I'm just going to highlight those. Now you can just use the bold icon, but this particular font gives me a number of different options. So I'm just going to go down to demi bold. And then To Whom It May Concern. And then this is the main body of your text. Now with this, if we just move it up and expand it to where you want your text to lie in your letter. So I'm just going to introduce some random text here. Now the beauty of putting the text of your letter into a text box is because you can make so many different adjustments. So as you can see, there's a little bit too much text. So if I click inside, I'm just going to take some text out. But if you find you have too much text, you want to keep it all on the same page, you can reduce the size of the text, the font of the text, the gaps between your characters, but you can also expand and contract this text box. So if I just move these down. But what is quite important, just to make sure that the letter looks nice, is to align them all up. And we'll do that at the end when we finish this signature box here. So we'll just move this over, click inside. Now I'm going to make this name bold again. Now, lots of you may be wondering how you can insert a digital signature. Well, I've created 2 videos on how to create a digital signature both in Word and in Photoshop, and I'll link those in the description below. So once you're happy with everything that's placed into your letter, then just go ahead, press the Command or Control key and select all the different text boxes on this left-hand side. Go up to Shape Format, go to Align, and select Align to Left. And then everything will be lined up to the left. Once you're happy, go up to Group, and then you can move this section round as a group. Don't forget you can also use your arrow keys just to be a little bit more accurate. And then also we can group this with this recipient here. So go back up to Group and Group, then just click off. If we click this box, Command or Control, click this box, we're going to align to the top here. So go to Align, Align to Top, and those now are perfectly lined up. Now once you're completely happy with where everything's placed, you can group it. And then adjust it again to exactly where you want it. And then in addition, you can also move these shapes around to align them as well. So now you can go ahead and group different sections of your letterhead, particularly those pieces that you want to stay in situ and you don't want to move. For example, these different sections here, you can group together. Once you've got them in line, you don't want them to move. So if we go ahead and just click on the shape, and we click on this shape, holding down the Command or Control key, go to Shape Format and click Group. Now when you move this around, you'll see what you've been able to group and what you haven't grouped. So you can see we've grouped the black shapes, but we haven't grouped with the logo. So all we need to do now is place the logo back where we want it, and then click on the shape with all 3 of those shapes in that group, and then go back up to Group and group the whole lot. And now you've grouped those together. You can also group these sections as well. Hold down the Command or Control key again, group these sections, and then all of that now is grouped together. Now the beauty of this is that if you need to go in to adjust something, you don't necessarily have to ungroup it. You can do, but if you click again once you're on the group, you can see that I can go in here now and I can adjust it. So when you save this as a template, you don't need to ungroup everything. It will stay as it is. You just go into each box and then you can change and alter these elements. So I'm just going to move this over slightly to the right, and as you can see I can make those adjustments without ungrouping them. So now when you've completed your letterhead and your letter layout, if you go up to your very top menu, go to File, and there should be an option that says Save as Template. When you click Save as Template, this dialog box will appear here. It's really important that you make sure that you save your template into the templates file. That way when you open your Word documents, it will be there displayed, as I'll show you in a second. So give your document a name, make sure the file format is Microsoft Word template and click Save. Once you've done that, if you then go and open a new document, if you go to More Templates, you can see now I've got this letterhead called Letterhead Template Black. Now the beauty about these templates is that this will always be preserved in your templates. So if I just get rid of this document, if I go back to my Word app, you can see now that my letterhead is now in my templates file. So if I'm on the Home tab, you can see that my templates are here. If I go to More Templates, if you're on the Featured tab, this is what will appear. If you go to Personal, your letterhead will appear. Now if I just create that template, the beauty about this is that this is now document 3. So this is a brand new document. So I can make all the adjustments that I want to this, and if I go and save it, it will ask me to save this as a brand new document. It will not save over the top of the original template in my app. So it will constantly be producing a new document each time you use it. And that's the beauty with templates. You can use them over and over again, and you'll always be saving it as a new document. So I hope this has helped. If it has, please subscribe and have a great day.